What are you doing with your shower cap and the goggles? Wet towel. I think when my head is wet, everything is soaked. It seems the brain becomes wobbly, and it reminds me of what happens to the human behavior. Remember 2020 and 2021, the world was suffering with a virus. Nations and populations of the world were struck by a virulent virus that was shaking the very life form on earth, all across the world. And nations were struggling to keep their patients, vulnerable, elderly, the weak, the fragile population of the world was struck by the invisible virus, and we did not have the equipment, the medical equipment for our healthy lives, the basic necessities to life, the oxygen. We didn't have oxygen. The fundamental basics of existence, the very foundation of our life, the breath, we couldn't supply, we couldn't support the vulnerable population, sick population in the hospitals, because the hospitals are not equipped or was not invested. We did not have enough trained people. We did not invest in it. But for the last 2 years, the military machine across the world, the nations have invested in trillions and trillions to build up their military hardware. We couldn't support our own people. We couldn't even support our neighbors because we didn't have oxygen. We were struggling. Today, a nation's gone into war. Here in Europe, I don't have to be a politician. I'm not a politician. I'm a peasant with an uneducated mind, but yet simply sensitive enough to feel the pain and the struggle of human suffering day in, day out, as I walk and step out of the home each day, unable to do anything because powerless. But I'm doing what I can within the means of my 2 hands and the means of what I can connect to and who I can extend to where needed, where I come across anyone struggling and suffering. Yet the whole world is willing to supply destructive armaments, destructive force to destroy. Good against the evil is what has been spoken about. This is the most horrible way to look at life. There is no good and evil. There's just human beings making up selfish ways of living and destroying other values, destroying the very fundamental values of what is to be a human being. We couldn't supply oxygen. We couldn't supply medication. We couldn't save the human lives because we didn't invest in our hospitals and our medical welfare and medical care. Instead, we, even during those 2 years, we built up our military so that we can destroy. And when the virus didn't do enough, We found other ways to destroy ourselves. Do you need to be a politician? Do you need to be a theologian? Do you need to be educated? Or do you simply need to be anyone else to understand simple ways that you don't become a problem in everything that we as human beings have created on this problem, situations on this problem. Situations, I'm confused. Are you? I'm sure you are confused. If you're logically correct, you will only see one way, a reflective, artificial reality of life. But you're illogically disconnect from the logic, you will see that the life you are is a possibility. That the priority should be completely arranged so that it works for human well-being and human health, not for destruction, or for distortion, or for complete make up your own words in your mind as to how you relate your life to, and with your insignificant ideas, puny ideas, I hope they don't destroy the very life of this planet and extinct the human species and every other life that is supporting the wholesome way that we exist here.